Hey everybody, and welcome back to another Alchemy intro video. I'm joined today by Yelena from our pre-sales team. Say hi, Yelena.
Hello everyone.
She's the master behind this beautiful little red dot that you see. So don't worry, it's not me controlling the mic or controlling the stick. What we're going to talk about today is what the heck is Alchemy and how can I navigate myself around this amazing lab tool? So just as a quick orientation, maybe we'll start from the top right-hand corner and we'll work our way over. So in the top right-hand corner, you can see that we're logged in as a user. In this case, this is Beth Cooper, right? So that would be associated with anyone working inside of your lab or your organization. We then have various notifications at the top right-hand corner. These are comments, tasks, and process notifications. So the general construct of Alchemy is that processes govern the way in which you do your work, and tasks govern the stage in which you're in that process, right? So any of you familiar with ISO, you'll know this. Moving to the My Assignments section of the home page, we're going to see that we have a variety of processes: innovation management, lab work, formulation and testing, technical service. Anyone with a lab experience will say, hey, that sounds like something for me. And then finally, the last two elements you'll see are on the left-hand side. We have our navigation bar. This is collapsible for better views, especially when you're in the formulation stage. Chemists want to have maximum visibility on what they're working on. You then have the ability to create something new. So Yeki, why don't we go and just look at new? This gives people a sense for the variety of processes. So you'll notice that the names here are the same names in your assignments because guess what? You're a lab chemist and this is what you work on all day. And then finally, the views section. So on the left-hand side below processes, you can see all of the views that are available to click and visualize. We'll get into some of these. So why don't we dive into one of the processes to actually give you a sense of the way Alchemy is built. Yeki, maybe priority 5. We'll work our way up in priority, starting with the lab work. Okay, so a quick orientation to what you are seeing. Obviously, the words on the left-hand side under stages should look very familiar to anyone that's ever worked in a lab or managed a lab before, or heck, anyone like me with a chemistry degree that worked in a university lab. You'll see that we start the process with request, a review of the request, bench work, formulation, characterization. What I really want to emphasize here on this particular one is, Yeki, if we go to flow and we have a look at the general overview of the way that a lab work process, in this specific case, is mapped. So obviously this may not be one-to-one your lab work process or your NPD process, but it probably doesn't look that much different, whether you're in the plastics industry, the coatings industry, the cosmetics industry, et cetera, et cetera. So here you can see that each of the slightly grayed out boxes are stages we've completed. This particular project did not go to a technical call, therefore it's white, and we are currently in the lab work review stage. One more little insight on this tab. So Yelena, if we go to the Plan tab, we can actually get a visual overview of the stage durations for this individual project at each and every interaction. So here you can see, oh wow, bottlenecks in my process exist at, for example, the characterization stage. We were 7 days late getting that done. What the heck happened? That's what Alchemy is really focused on, is how can we help better manage the technical development inside of your lab. Yelena, why don't we navigate back to the home page and we'll show yet another example of a process flow in Alchemy. So here, instead of going to lab work, why don't we go to formulating and testing, Prio 3. All right. Now, just to give a really quick side-by-side comparison, if we go to flow again, you're going to remember that gnarly process flow that we had for NPD. This is something that we see more for application testing or technical service work or even QC work. So a request comes in, a formulation is developed, and a test or characterization steps are run. So Yeki, if we go back to details, why don't we actually have a look into the testing? So on the right-hand side of your screen, right, you can see the ELN, or the formulation development, as well as the test methods that are run on this formulation that are custom tailored and built inside of Alchemy. So obviously you may be looking at this and say, well, hey, I don't do scrub resistance as a test. Do not worry. Alchemy is a tool tailored to your lab's needs, which is what makes us really, really unique. But as you scroll and see this entire platform, all of these records are really tailored to reflect those Excel-like tools that you've been using in the lab for years, but to help you actually capture and leverage the data that's being created inside of your lab. That's really the main point here. This is not a formulating video. We're going to do a separate series or multiple videos on formulating specifically, but we're just trying to give you a nice overview of the diversity that happens in the tool. So Yelena, if we go back one more time to my assignments, and this time, why don't we go to Prio 1, so innovation management or stage gate. So yet again, we're going to go to the flow tab. And yet again, you're going to see, oh, wait, this is the third process flow that I've seen inside of Alchemy. How the heck do you do this? Excellent question. Call us. We're happy to elaborate on how we do this. But obviously, the way that some organizations are using Alchemy is much more narrow, much more siloed, much more like that second process flow that we've shown you. But certain organizations are really running everything from their innovation management processes, gate reviews, market studies, TAM analyses, SWOT analyses, all the way down to their quality assurance and ultimately the push of production-ready formulas into their ERP. So, Yelena, why don't we now take one quick look at some formulation records. Maybe we can go to the product characteristics database here on the left. So a lot of you are saying, okay, well, now I formulated inside of Alchemy. I'm running these processes inside of Alchemy. Where's the power of this data? This is the answer to that question. So here in this list, you can see all of the products or formulations or analyses that you've created in those processes earlier. And here you can see them all in one evergreen growing database of results. So Yelena, why don't we show off a little bit of the solids percent range with the advanced search feature. So if you, for example, as a formulator are saying, okay, I have a request that came in for a product that fits between 55 and 85% solids. You can very quickly and easy find not only the products that you've developed, but the products that any of your colleagues anywhere around the world have developed that actually meet these certain criteria. This is incredibly powerful and one of the things that we feel is truly differentiated about Alchemy in the marketplace. And then the last thing is the charting inside of the tool. So now you're saying, okay, this looks sort of like an Excel database. Show me the magic. So Yelena, why don't we go to a formulation comparison? Keep in mind that with any of these databases, so all of the things that you see on the left are databases, you can then build great graphs and charts and elements directly inside of Alchemy without having to go anywhere else to do so. So here we're looking at a group of lab works, right? So 3 LWRs and showing the concentration levels of 4 specific materials inside of those formulations. And just to show that we've done this from the data tab, Yelena, you can navigate to data up here at the top left, and we can actually see that this chart, no different than that product characterization chart, looks exactly the same. All we did was go and build a chart from this data. So Yeki, yeah, let's go back to that formulation comparison and have a look one more time at this beautiful graphs. So again, thanks so much for taking a moment to have a look. This is obviously not meant to be a full hour-long discussion, but to give you a little bit of an overview of the way that leading material science organizations are running their lab better and ultimately creating better products and formulations inside of Alchemy. Thanks so much.
Thank you.